All right, we're live. We're on.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone. Just give me just 1 second to make sure that we're all set up here. I need to mute this other. Hang on. Oh, here it goes. I got to get my chat up so that I can see everybody. And there it is. Hi, everybody. What we're doing tonight is just kind of question, answer, chat with the divine masculine. You have to mute your thing. Make sure you mute your
Sorry about that.
Sorry. 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
We have 2 people in here right now. We're just going to wait for a couple more people to come on, but we are answering questions tonight. If you, it's probably going to be mostly divine feminines, but if you, the divine feminines, are wanting to ask questions and get answers from the perspective of the divine masculine, he is here to answer questions. If you guys don't know Lloyd, this is Lloyd, my divine masculine from Light Side Energy Healing. We're going to start in the first place with a little bit of a healing. The energy is a little spacey. It feels very foggy. It feels like a little dense. It feels heavy in my heart chakra, heavy in my solar plexus. And so we're just going to do a little bit of shifting and some energy work here to begin with as more people come on. After that, we're going to do questions with Lloyd. If you guys want to move your question up to, bump it up to the top, use the super chat button down underneath of the live chat. We're going to do a donation of $11.11 to bump your question up. I can pull cards too if you want a card pull. We'll do that by donation for $11.11 also. And yeah. Paisley, there's Paisley. Thank you so much. Paisley is going to be our moderator. Paisley, make sure that I pull a card for you before we get off of here tonight, because I always forget. All right, let's start with the healing. Let the healing begin. I need it. I need it right now. I don't know if you guys can tell or not, but I just need a little bit of, I need some reciprocal energy. So let's make this like a share. It's going to be an energy share. We're going to be doing the healing, but you guys are going to be sending healing as well. You guys are going to be sending light. Let's put your light worker skills to good use and bring it on, because I kind of, for some reason, I feel like I'm carrying collective energy right now, and I need a little bit of the collective's help too.
There's a lot of nervous energy around at the moment related to the heart and the sacral around these areas that is nervous and knotted at the moment with what's going on in the outside world. So just going to use my sound bowl just to help clear the space for all of us, for us to tune in, I say, and then if we all just close our eyes and just focus into our heart center, focusing on that unconditional love that we all hold, and let's share it around like a circle between everybody who's here in this space. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Close your eyes. Take 3 deep breaths. Breathing out all density, all harsh energies on the out breath. Place your hands on your heart, drawing in divine love from source. Breathe it into your heart space. Feel it as it warms you, holds you. Let's send this love to all of us in a circle, sharing it between us, building the energies. And so it is.
Love that bowl.
And me. I like to rub it on me.
Do that again real quick. Not that. Hit the bowl.
Another thing. Oh, you didn't want me to rub myself, okay?
That's a different kind of show. Just hit it. Like that. So good. All right. So let's settle in a little bit. Paisley, if you can just let people know that we're going to be answering questions. If they want to bump their question up to the top, we're going to do that for the donation of 1111. If they want a card pull, I'm just going to do like one card pull. Lloyd happens to have his cards out too. I don't know if he's going to be pulling or not, but we'll see. It's just going to be organic tonight. 1111 donation, 1111 for those card pulls too.
So how's everyone doing anyway?
Hi guys. I'm going to scroll back up to the top. Hi, Lori. Hi, Sexy Girl 98. Hello. I have to change this music too. We had on just chill Freya Ridings music, and it's dragging me down right now. Echo, turn on Bruno Mars radio station. How about that? I like them apples.
Let's lift this place.
Yes, I got all of this heaviness, this density in my chest. I don't know what's going on with the heart chakra right now, ladies. What's happening in the heart chakra? Right away, 2 cards out. Lena G, hi, hugs back to you. How was that energy for you guys? I definitely felt it coming back from you guys. Karen S, hi, thank you too. There's this, it's hard to breathe a little bit. I feel like there's a lot of anxiety happening in this space, in the collective. I mean, we all know that there's fear and anxiety going on right now. This is the time to focus on where is that coming from, and to counteract it. We need to counteract it now. That's what I'm hearing. With light and with
sight, light and sight.
Light and sight. They're telling me candles too. For some reason, I have had my candle lit all day today, and I don't normally sense anything sensory right now. Getting us back into our bodies, anything sensory. Yeah. So essential oils and candles and salt bath. There needs to be extra special loving care today for some reason. Yeah, look at that. Time for a nap. Time for a nap and breathe. So this almost looks like the energy that we were just kind of getting us into, bringing us into that space of just centered. And I think this take a nap is a lot less actually literally take a nap and go to sleep more. It's more getting ourselves to a place of rest and stillness and breath. It's coming back to center and coming back to our 0 point. That's really what we need to do every single time. When you breathe into that space that feels heavy, this heaviness in my chest right now, it's hard to breathe. That's actually where we need more breath. I mean, it sounds obvious, but it's as simple as feeding your body with breath and becoming still. We have to take this time to go within and rest our minds, rest our bodies. I was having a lot of third eye stuff when we were leading into this too, as we were talking before we came on, and it felt like I needed to remove things from it. There's just all these layers of Stuff going on out there.
Yeah, very
You
much
guys are
so.
letting it get to you and you're looking too much. You are tapping into that energy too much. Right? Do you feel that?
Yeah, very much. Like I say, there's a lot going on as empaths. We're taking on a lot of the energies from other people around us. We don't realize this is what we're doing. This is our job. We're transmuting their fear. We're holding the space for the collective. The only way we can hold this space in an empowered place for us is to lean into the unconditional love. So that a lot of the time means detaching from what's going on in the outside world. We're not ignoring it. We are in our homes. We are looking after our bodies ourselves. But it's big. I mean, we've been doing it for years anyway. We're in hermit mode for the collective at the moment. That is what we're doing. Okay, so we're holding that love in our heart, and by doing that, we're forming an energy grid around the earth, because we're all strategically placed as part of the Earth's energy grid to help with this ascension process at the moment. So by us just leaning into the love we have, whether we put that on the counterpart or whether it's for ourselves, just feeling into that and living from that space as much as we can, and connecting with it. Whenever fear comes up or we're out of balance, get outside in your garden, get fresh air in you, and just work with your breath. If you feel like you want to help people, your family, maybe they're not spiritual and things like that, what Spirit's been telling me is to get them to start consciously breathing. Our lungs are muscles, and the more we breathe and the bigger breaths we take, the more we're strengthening them. This virus attacks the respiratory system. So just by giving that information, the people around us are going to strengthen their muscles there, but they're also going to connect more. So it's going to open them up spiritually as well. So it's like a double bonus, really. So if you're looking to give people advise them to do that, to strengthen their lungs by consciously breathing.
Yeah. I think a lot of you need to remember too that you're carrying collective energy. It's not just yours. You need to recognize that we have all really come together in a space of either collective fear and collective triggers, or collective solidarity and light in order to counteract that fear and to step into our role as light workers. But when you do that, you are then kind of taking on the energy of the collective around you that you're helping to balance. And you're doing it just by healing and balancing yourself, but you have to recognize that it is going to feel a little bit heavier when you start to step into that role. And I'm seeing in the comments too, in the chat box, that a lot of people have been feeling this heaviness today. And even just as I started talking about it and kind of releasing the energy of that and connecting back in with my own, I'm realizing how much more of a collective energy that is right now. So just understanding that with each other, it helps to release it. And just the awareness alone is huge when it comes to kind of clearing some of that out. Getting to that center space and breathing, just like he was talking about, is helping you to get back in touch with what is yours. And it doesn't mean that you need to totally disconnect from what's happening around you, but just recognize that not all of that is yours. A lot of chest heaviness. I'm seeing on here, people taking naps, a lot of tired energy today. And it's dense. It's hard to battle back against this huge collective fear energy, and it's a little bit of a foreboding energy too, because we can feel more is coming. There are more waves of things that are going to be playing out, I think, with the way things are structured right now and quarantines and stuff like that. And it's hard to see that and lean into it, because it's like, oh God, no, I just want to back myself off from it. But what I want to do is kind of lean into the other side of whatever it is that's being presented. If we're being quarantined, I want to lean into the fact that I get more time to myself, or Spirit is telling me, okay, you really need to go within, and you're being forced to. What is it that I'm needing to search for?
It's also pushing us forward on our mission at the end of the day, for what we're here for. Like you say, what is happening collectively at the moment is the breakdown of our systems, changing in the wind. We've all known it was coming. It's been building. We've all felt something was coming. We weren't sure how it was going to play out. And when you hold a vision of changing the world, that's quite big, and it needs something profound to change the dynamics in the world. I didn't. No one envisaged it was going to be a virus like this that was going to be the start or the catalyst of things. But we need to look into like Venice, for instance, and you look at photos of Venice of how quickly the waters and the structures changed just by people not being there. And that's the effect of we're having, how badly we are treating Mother Earth at the moment. And you know, when you know, a couple of weeks, yeah, exactly, she's cleansing herself, and she takes things back very quickly. Like you say, it's us that block that. Yeah. So it's a big change in the wind, and I think this period of isolation is going to highlight the effect that we're actually having on the earth and the difference it makes when we're not out there ruining it every day. Yeah. With what we do, you know, when factories and things like that close. It's also bringing money into perspective as well on what's really important. At the end of the day, I don't care whether I don't earn any money at all, or I just care that the people I love are safe. That's it. And that's a perspective everybody is going to be moving into. So it's reassessment of their lives, which, as we know on this journey, was all part of our awakening. So we can see it happening. And these people are going to be coming to us. We've been learning all these things for a reason, and there's so many people in the world. We're all going to be helping these people to raise their vibration and raise with the planet. So they're going to be looking to all us to teach them.
Yeah, and I feel like we're starting to feel the heaviness of working to transmute that energy, and I feel like that's why a lot of us feel it in our chest today. Yeah. Because we feel the energy from that side of things, and we actually, as light workers, are working our light in order to be transmuting that the sickness, the distorted energy that comes from bodies being out of alignment because of a virus, the earth being out of alignment and trying to right itself. And I feel like we're really transmuting a lot of that right now. So breath is going to be so important. Really resting yourself. You know, if you think about how tired you get when you're sick, when you have an illness, you do a little thing and it completely wipes you out. You need more rest, more water, more vitamins, more self-care than you normally would. And we're actually, even though we're not sick, helping to do that for the rest of the collective. So that in mind.
There's a lot of tightness in her chest, like I say. Breathing doesn't feel so easy at the moment, because there's so many people affected in their chest area. We're transmuting that, we're holding that for them. So every breath we take, whether it's a bit harder, imagine that as helping somebody who's struggling to breathe. Yeah. And hold that, you're helping the collective to keep breathing, to battle through this.
Okay, so there's two things on the comments that I wanted to talk about. There's one of them, Destiny. I want to get back to what you said about cutting. She wants to cut ties with her divine masculine. And Lynette said something about oils too. She said that she's got harmony oil on her heart, valor on her crown, and inner child on her sacral. So just for a suggestion for those of you that use oils, if you're looking for a little bit of relief. Lynette, thank you for that, because I actually have some valor that I just saw that. I'm like, okay, I need to use that on my crown. Breathing has been hard the last couple of days, but I recognize, that's everything that we've been talking about. Thank you, Paisley, for watching. Okay, so I posted a video today, and if you resonate with it was a conversation between counterparts, and if you resonate with that conversation, please go over and look at the get the extended, because it talks a lot about cutting cords. And it's not just between counterparts, but I feel like constantly cutting cords. We've been getting a lot of messages lately about the importance of that kind of self-care, energetic self-care, cutting cords with everyone around you on a daily basis. Every single interaction that you have with someone, every time you come across a negative post or someone who is in a fear energy, and if you are interacting with them, even if you are giving your energy to that just a little bit and allow yourself to be irritated or whatever it is, you're creating cords and attachments between these people that need to be severed constantly. Especially as light as you are attracting those energies to you in order to absorb some of your light and feed off
So
of your light.
it's like moths flying around you. They're attracted to your light
Yeah.
because they're looking for somebody to hold them in a place of fear. So it's okay to give out a bit of your energy back. As you do, detach. Don't look like if it's a comment on Facebook or somebody who's struggling, give them your message, but that's it. Don't follow up. Don't just leave it from that. You've said your piece and leave it behind, because every time, or if someone in the street, or you have, someone who's down, you're trying to lift them up, you almost, after you walk away, you almost just cut. Even if it's just, it's this simple.
Yeah.
Just get
With
that
the
energy.
intention that
Yeah.
I'm cutting this cord, whatever that
Bring
was.
yourself back, because you've given a part of yourself away now. It's
Yeah.
two, as I say that here. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it's constantly cutting those cords. It's being aware, especially if later on you can't get that comment out of your head, or if you keep replaying it, or if you then keep seeing more comments that are similar to it, you're kind of drawing that into your energy because of the cord that has been attached to that person or that interaction or that comment or whatever that was. Make sure that you're just constantly call in the energy of Archangel Michael, invoke that into yourself just constantly, and just be cutting the cords. I set the intention to cut the cords from that interaction, and replacing that with, kind of, it's almost like they're showing me cauterizing it. If you were to cut an actual cord, cauterizing the end of it with some sort of light energy. So if it's rainbow light energy, if it's Reiki, if it's violet flame, whatever that energy is, just kind of seal it and replace it with that positive energy. And then you're feeding back to yourself. Right?
Yeah, very much. Stopping it from attaching.
I feel like, and I don't know how to connect those two things, but divine masculine, divine feminines, twin flames, it is this whole environment, and especially, I guess it's just going within, the need to go within now has brought a lot of people back to the focus on their twin flame connection, the energy of their divine masculine, analyzing that, feeling the flow of whatever fear energy it is back and forth, or I don't know. In the extended today, they were really encouraging divine feminines to cut cords with their divine masculines, and the suggestion of that triggers a lot of people, and it's terrifying for them, because you think, why would I cut cords with my twin flame? I want to be connected to them. There's no way that I could cut cords anyway. So to be more specific, we're talking about unhealthy cords, codependent attachments, bleed over from past lives that are affecting you that you don't even realize, trauma imprints that you guys have put on each other as you are working out distorted masculine and distorted dark feminine energies. When you interact with your divine masculine or divine feminine in a way that is the same pattern, the same trauma pattern that you always have, you then have imprinted them with that energy. And so now it's in their field, now it's on them, and you're going to continue to be triggered by it, and they're going to continue to mirror it back to you. And every single time you're creating these cords and these attachments and these karmic bonds that are not healthy. We were talking about this in the last video that we did together this week. And we were talking about how we ended up just triggering each other back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. It was like a fucking brutal ping pong battle.
It's like a boxing match, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of stuff that we needed to heal. It was all of these trauma bonds that were coming up to be seen and to be healed. And we are just such magnifying glasses and mirrors of each other's traumas that luckily we are healers and we're seers and we could see the connection. But when you're in trigger trauma energy, we're still taking things out on each other and like actors in a play, playing out these energies that eventually was that's all we were doing, was playing out these energies left and right. We got stuck in that healing cycle. It was like a barrage of
We were
release of
actually
traumas.
healing. We were healing the wound. We were seeing what the patterns were and healing them. But the part that got us stuck is that we couldn't move past seeing them energies on the other person. So it made it hard for us to lean into each other. It was almost repelling. So we had to consciously cut cords. I've cut our cord and have a separation. That's what we chose to have to be able to see properly again,
Yeah.
because we get so in the thick of things. So
At one point we were sitting there just like, and it, all of this triggering back and forth and this disconnect between, you know, the purity of our connection was just I was in such doubt all the time, just like, what is this even about? What is all of this? Is this all this is it just a trauma bond? Is that all we're meant to do with each other, is just trigger each other back and forth so that we can be each other's healers? And then, you know, is that what's included in the twin flame journey when people are in union? Is that what they're supposed to do, that healing? Or are they supposed to be doing that separately? Like there's all these questions about, is this really even, you know, what we're supposed to be doing right now? Are we twin flames? It was just so much. It was so much. We were just like, we have to completely sever all connections between us, because that's really just going to show us what's underneath of it. We have so many codependent bonds that we've created with each other that we have to completely sever everything and just see where it lies. We have to see where it ends up.
a lot of it was inner child stuff for us as well, wasn't it? Subconscious past life and subconscious patterning that we held all our lives from our upbringing, and this sort of thing that we were projecting on each other, and that made us realize that we'd held that all our life, because that was our base, that was our norm, and we didn't realize that that's why we were attracting certain energies from certain people. And we are the creators of our reality. If we have these subconscious programs running, everyone we come into contact with we're going to be projecting and seeing these energies in these people.
Yeah.
And you don't realize we're attracting that to us without even knowing it.
Yeah.
So as mindful as you are, if you have the subconscious programs that you're not breaking down, you're still going to attract the darker energies, if that's where you were born, what you were born into. Just being mindful of that, and also the past life stuff.
Yeah. I feel like he and I transmute so much for the collectives too, the Divine Feminine Collective and him for the Divine Masculine Collective, that as we were going through those things, it was very heavy and very dense because we were doing that for the collective also. So I feel like a lot of what we went through and the way that we separated it allowed the space for you guys to be able to be processing that at the same time without actually having to do that. But it is important for you to consciously say, okay, that's what I'm ready for. I'm not afraid. We are not afraid on this channel. We don't fear. We allow triggers. We have been allowing them, but we also decided to create our own trigger in order to create a launching point for ourselves. It did trigger me. Us severing cords, I was terrified that I was going to lose him, and that, you know, I'm losing my best friend, and that, you know, I don't know, the image of twin flame and everything we've always known is just a, who knows what it is, and now I'm going to have to figure it all out. And like the fear of the unknown was starting to, I could tell that this was the right thing to do because I was being triggered so much. It was like, okay, the codependent fear and the codependent like trauma bond was coming up full force, and it was like, okay, we literally did a meditation together, consciously took hold of our own realities and said, okay, this is going to be what it is going to be. And as scary as it is, that's how we know more than anything that that's what we need to do. So there's been a couple of comments on here about cutting cords and how they have felt less of an attachment to their divine masculine. And I'm hoping that what we did in that way helped them to get to that consciously doing that for yourself is really going to kind of finalize that for you. And it's going to let you know what the depth of your connection is.
It's
If
going to
you
bring what
sever all of those other connections that are unhealthy, that are being fed from contracts from past lives, it's going to leave you with the purity of your connection. You are going to come back together if you were meant to come back together. And if not, you are going to then call in and attract more of what you do resonate with. And your true twin is going to come into your realm, or, whatever it is that you have going on within you is going to be more free to be reflected in your outside world. It's about freedom. It's about sovereignty. And it's not about being alone. It's about being free to make that choice for yourself.
It's also about faith.
And faith.
That's that faith. You have faith in your heart that you hold the love you feel like the love of God. So you have to trust yourself like that and have that blind faith that what is for your greatest and highest good will come to you. Yeah. Regardless if it's not what you thought it was or who it was, don't put attachment on it. It's
Thank
that.
you for the donation, Lori. Sorry, babe. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all right. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Lori. So if that resonates with you, if you, I know Destiny, you had said something about wanting to cut cords with your divine masculine. If you have fear about letting go and what that means for you, and does that mean that I never am going to see him anymore? If that's what you're being called to do, that is your guidance. It, at the end of the day, is for your highest and greatest good. It's about letting go of what no longer serves you, and codependent attachments to that energy no longer serves you. It's time for your light to be free, for you to really step into the purity of it for yourself, for the collective around you, and for you to be stepping more into your power. You're freeing yourself. And sometimes freeing yourself means bringing you guys closer together, because essentially that's what it did.
It's releasing the past. It's like a refresh, a new beginning.
Yeah.
That's what it created. Because of the karma between interactions, that's what gets this push and pull dynamic going in the first place. Right. That becomes like a pattern, and it's almost addictive. Or why aren't they coming towards me? Why? And that feeds you the separation. And it's because I did this, I did that, and you're pushing them away just by thinking that. You're keeping them away from you. So it's letting go. Right.
Right. So I'm glad you said that too, because it's not only cutting cords and attachments to whatever codependency or whatever trauma bonds or whatever karmic bonds you have with each other. It is also cutting those cords with the version of yourself that you were. It's cutting cords to from the trauma victim that you were. It's stepping into your power now and not feeding on the energy of victim mentality anymore. Victim energy, that trauma energy, because every time you continue the flow of that energy from that trauma, it is imprinted on people from then on. What you're doing is severing ties and cutting karmic ties to the version of yourself that you were. From this vantage point, from this now moment, from this awareness, from this ascended person, you are not that person anymore. And if you look at the connection that you had with your divine masculine in all its distorted glory, you want to sever the ties from that version of your own inner divine masculine energy. You're releasing that from within you. You don't need distortion within you anymore. So it gives it space.
As well. At the same time you cut them cords, you release them. You release that energy from them because it's projected onto them. Yeah. It's your reality and how you see things is attached to them, and they mirror that back to you.
Yeah. Marley said, when I see where I am at now instead of last year, I just think, damn, I've grown and changed. I used to be so obsessed with my divine masculine. I literally stalked him. I am becoming the most chill person. So I think that energetically having a ritual where you consciously cut the cords then from that, even though you have come very far from that and you aren't quite as obsessed with him, actually there are still cords that are there that will keep drawing you back in and keep drawing you back in, and create energies of self-doubt. And I think it's important to still do the cord cutting process. What did we do? Can you just like talk about what we just did? A meditation, right?
Yeah, we did a Steve Noble meditation. It was cutting highly charged energies between somebody. So obviously, it's probably the most charged relationship you've ever had with somebody. So
Right.
perfect for that, and it's severing all cords that can be severed.
Right.
The theory of on the twin flame is you can't sever your cord. You can't sever that cord from your
Not
twin.
that one, not the healthy one, not the pure
Yeah,
one.
not the. So you have nothing to fear. All you're knowing is knowing if is this my person or isn't this my person. That's what they'll tell you, because afterwards, if you feel detached from it and you are open to new people, I would suggest it wasn't.
Yeah.
But if you do it and then it's just more pure, but it's still there and you still have the draw and the pull, then you know, yeah, that it is this person, but with no attachment. And that's how you draw them in, by having no attachment, no expectation. Because we put expectation, I think a lot of, because of how the it's painted or been painted, and there's been a lot of distortion in how the twin flame journey has been painted, is that two people come together and then they do their mission and then they do their work. And I think there's a lot of light workers who are holding on, waiting for that before they step forward. And that's not being an empowered person, being the best version of you when you're going to call that person in. You have to be you,
Yeah.
because these energies are in you. They're your energies at the end of the day.
Right.
So you need to step forward yourself. Spirit will support you and bring people in who are going to help you on your journey, and soul family and things like that. But you can't sit back waiting to push yourself forward on somebody else, because that's codependent. That's completely codependent.
It's the trauma pattern.
Yeah, and that is not being empowered.
Yeah.
That is not an energy that's going to bring your person to you.
Yeah.
So it's you both being individuals who have their life together, empowered, stepping into service, and that is the stage where I believe you're able to come together. But before that, if you're still hiding in your 3D job, or you have all these grand dreams of this and that, and you're just hiding on what you know and staying in the same place you've been, you're not moving forward.
Right. And really,
So,
you're hiding from yourself.
exactly.
You're hiding from yourself because they're your ultimate mirror.
So
They're
while
not
you're
gonna...
hiding, they're hiding. It's the same. They can't move forward if you don't move forward. If they're your mirror, so you're keeping them stuck.
Right.
By not going forward. If
Right.
you empower yourself, they'll empower themselves. They may be behind you in doing that, but they're your mirror and they're following you.
Yeah. We were stuck for a long time in the energy of trauma that we hadn't realized, and we were repeating that pattern. It was just this programmed pattern over and over again to continue to recreate the energy of whatever trauma we had in our lives. Seeing it, this awakening, this awareness, this opening, this third eye opening for us has been to shine the light on that and to understand that we don't need to repeat those patterns anymore. It's saying goodbye to the version of ourselves that carried that trauma with us. Just before he and I did this, I actually had a release where I spoke my truth about my trauma, freed myself, and said, "This is my healing. This is my release. This is my forgiveness. This is my taking my own power back." And from then on, realizing that I don't need to be that anymore. I changed my story. I rewrote my story. So essentially I was removing the distorted masculine energy from within me, and then cut cords with the version of him that I had imprinted with that divine masculine, that distorted masculine energy. I needed to cut cords with that too, because it wasn't him. It was actually keeping him hidden the real him hidden underneath of that trauma energy, and I couldn't even see him. I couldn't. That's why I was so confused. That's why I was like in doubt, and that's why I was questioning stuff, because I didn't see the real him anymore. That's what we're doing. It's
There's
huge.
nothing to say my end as well. Like saying, I'd put that energy, the distorted
Put that
feminine
on me
energy, onto Karen, and that was being reflected back to me. And it's magnified through your twin. It's like you can't hide from it. That's their purpose. It's like, no, it's here in your face, and you've got to face it. That's why there's such pull and pull. We're just fortunate that we're both energy healers, and we're so committed to this journey that we just have stayed in it and bashed each other out, regardless of how bad it was. We still would face.
I mean, we knew it had a purpose. We knew that it was part of our healing, but it's almost like we shifted from a healing journey, a healing phase, a trauma healing phase, into the next, and we're talking next level. This is, and it no coincidence that it happened during Mercury retrograde and just before all of this craziness, when our light is needed more than ever, and our combined light, our union light, is needed more than ever in this collective. So it was essential that we were in the middle of it was like a very, very saturated trauma bashing healing phase.
It was literally saying goodbye to the old us, wasn't it? Old concepts we put around ourselves, our old limitations. It's like the 3D version of us we were saying goodbye to. That was dead, and so that we could step into a higher timeline and then help more to guide people more, hopefully. And that's what we're able to do. We will try.
Yeah, we are you. So and like I had talked about in the Wayfinder video, we kind of like carve the path. So a lot of times we go through things and dig our way through them, barrel through just before you guys are going to too. So if you guys have just gone through this, it's you're opening it up for other people behind you too. If you haven't gone through this yet, it may be coming up for you. That may be why you've tuned in, because it's time for you to go through that phase also and start that process of healing and releasing and cutting cords to the trauma, the distorted masculine, the dark feminine, all of that energy. And you have the time right now to be able to go within and to work through that. You also have a collective of light workers who are stepping into their light and their power and have gone through a lot of healing themselves to be geared up for this next phase. So you are supported, and just reach out for help if you're needing guidance for that. You can either book private sessions with us. My Facebook page, Hawk's Nest, is up and running and is just a beautiful space for light workers to get together and bounce ideas off of each other and talk about what they're going through and offer and receive support during all of this.
We're just getting up together, slowly building a website which is going to have a number of teachings for you guys to help you on your spiritual journey, better connections and things like that. It's in the infancy at the moment, but that is our plan, to work together and create a environment of teaching for those on this path.
Yeah. Lynette, I see you in here too. I see what you guys are talking about. Paisley, how fucking amazing is Paisley? I see all of this. Like, she is our backup support. She's in the chat right now, holding all of these people in so much light. They're going through things. They're bursting into tears while they're talking right now. And she's just like, shining my shit. I'm just shining my shit and giving her advice. And like, God love her. God love you, Paisley.
Thank you, Paisley. You're amazing.
She's amazing. And it's just, she's a warrior. She's a silent warrior who is going through her own stuff too. Not to get into your business or anything out in the open, Paisley, but if you at some point set the intention to send her light and send her support and knowing and energy, she needs to feel that too. So there you go.
I think we're all shining it on her at the moment. She can feel that, can't you, Paisley?
Of course she can. She's so sensitive. Paisley is the best on top of it all. Yeah, and so she's monitoring this chat on here right now. She's already booted a couple of people, I think. Thank you very much.
Oh, so she's sending love and being a doorman at the same time. I love it.
Yep.
That's the two sides.
She's
masculine and feminine.
The teeniest, tiniest little bouncer you've ever met. Now she's sweating. Okay, so if you guys have any questions that you want Lloyd to answer from the perspective of the divine masculine, he is a channel for divine masculine energy. Clearly, if you resonate with us, if you resonate with our journey, with our connection, with me, anything that you ask him essentially is going to kind of be maybe from your divine masculine perspective.
Yeah. If you're struggling to understand what's going on anywhere in your journey, how your masculine is reacting to you, or why that might be, I could probably help shed some light on it.
Yeah. So ask away. If you want your questions to be at the top of the list, we are doing donations. You just hit the super chat button at donation of 1111. If you want me to do some card pulls, I have my cards out too. Lloyd has his cards out too. We'll do that for a donation of 1111 also. And let's go. Ready, set, go. Lynette said, oh man, so many questions for the DM. I know. And so this is your chance. His perspective sometimes when he starts talking or when he starts channeling or when he starts with his perspective, sometimes I'm just like, wow. I never would have thought that, but it just makes so much sense. It resonates so deeply to the divine masculine energy within me that I didn't realize was there. And it's like, oh. And then sometimes I'm just like, what are you even talking about? All right, so Lori is first, she said. Yes. Oh, mysterious energy. Thank you for that. She said, make sure to like, comment, share the video. Everybody go and hit the like button right now. We have 32 people in here. Maybe we can get, if there's already 8 thumbs up, maybe we could get 25 thumbs up. Ready, set, go, and do that. It really does help for.
Okay, Laurie, I wanted to ask a question first. It said, Lloyd, what is my DM Tim okay?
Yeah, what does that mean?
I don't know what that means. Specific questions. I want to know about an energy that you're getting from your DM. I'm not going to answer specifically what's going on. I want to give you his perspective of where
right. It's more like trying to understand the divine masculine perspective, not like digging for information to give you about your personal divine masculine energy. I don't know that. Michelle has one too. She said, when did you realize you were divine masculine? My twin has no idea he's a twin. He runs to me and runs from me. Is this normal?
Okay, so I realized I was a divine masculine from the moment I woke up. I didn't have any spiritual beliefs at all. I was a complete atheist, didn't believe in God or anything at all. And it was like a switch for me. And straight away, it was about love. I knew there was, well, I knew it as a child. I'd hidden this part of me through wounding in my life. As a child, I was very sensitive, and I knew there was a love for me. And I'm talking as a young boy, like 6 years old. But I realized the softer side of myself, my true divine masculine nature, didn't fit into the environment I was born in. So I hid that side of myself and put on masks to fit in my environment. And I did that for a long time until I cracked open, shall I say. And that was on just after my 40th birthday. And I knew I was on the twin flame journey from the moment I woke up.
Well, how did you know about twins though? How did you know about the divine masculine energy? Like that was your awakening, but when did you know about twins? How did you come on that information?
It was literally given to me from spirit. I literally was like switched on, and the next 2-3 months was just being bombarded with messages, channeling information that I didn't even know you could do that. So I thought I was going mad, but it was literally everything was a message, and they were just leading me, giving me information. And the twin flame thing, I never heard of it, and it just kept popping in. Like I was getting things popping up on YouTube. I wasn't looking at anything like that, and they were just popping up, and it just kept coming up and kept coming up. So I couldn't ignore it, and I started looking, and I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. But the runner and chaser dynamic that's created is a man's protection of his heart, and men have trained themselves not to feel that level of love they have for their feminine. It scares the shit out of us. We get scared too, but we're told we're not supposed to be scared, so we can't show our fear. So the closer we get to them, the more scared we get, the more we step away so we can feel strong and powerful. And that's this dynamic, because we're still hiding part of our heart, our fear.
Right.
Okay.
All right, so Rel, hi Rel. I'm so glad you're here. Rel just opened a new YouTube channel. So put your information up there, Rel, so everybody can go over there and subscribe to your channel. She said, I've expressed where I stand and the love I have. He has never once given me anything back, anything in capital letters. I have no idea how he feels. He's never blocked me and still interacts with me. Why hasn't or can't he communicate? What keeps you from expressing how you feel?
What keeps me from expressing how I feel? Okay.
Good one, Ralph. Thank you.
Good one. Look at that. Stop smiling. Again, it's the same. Everything that holds all of us back is fear. It's an underlying fear program. And that's what's happening in the collective now. It's breaking that fear. It's past hurt. It's past pain. It's when we were younger and we did express ourselves and we got hurt. It's a protection. We feel as much as you. We were just told we weren't supposed to. We're no different than the feminine. We just are told we're not allowed to express it. So we hold that in, and it becomes a barrier. It's like being wrapped in all this pain that you hold in, and you don't let your heart flow because it fucking hurts sometimes. It does. It's not nice to have your heart broken. And we feel a lot more than you give us credit for.
Thank you for that little scolding. I think what I notice too, sometimes when he holds his energy back or he holds his feelings back, a lot of times what it has to do with is feeling like he wants to protect me from his emotions, or no matter what they are, especially if it's anger, obviously, or triggered kind of trauma energy. He wants to protect me from those, as if what he is feeling is wrong and shouldn't be expressed because it's dangerous to a woman for a man to be open about his feelings. It's reckless, it's not grounded, it's not sturdy. And so when we would start to, because he's aware, when we would start to trigger each other, or something that he would say would trigger a trauma energy within me, he would recognize that something that he did or said triggered me. And so then he wants to protect me from being in that trigger energy. Really, it's not about him. It's not something he did. It was meant to be triggered. I needed to get it out. It wasn't about him personally. But what he would do is hide himself then more and more and more.
Because the trigger energy that comes out is usually it's coming out as an emotional release. And as a man, we're taught not to have emotional releases, and we hold it in and we control it. So part of our feeling unsafe is we don't know how to handle that because we don't do it ourselves. So when a woman is having an emotional release in front of us and she's getting upset or she's shouting it makes us feel horrible and we don't know what to do. And we feel like we did that as well. So not only do we not know what to do, we feel like we were to blame. So it's like, oh, I'm not act like that or do this, and you're then pulling yourself away.
Yeah. Rel, I hope that answered your question. Okay, Ascension Essentials. I love the way that sounds, Ascension Essentials. Sounds sexy. Ascension Essentials. Do you think, okay, good, our question is not sexy. Do you think this global lockdown is going to be a catalyst that wakes up another wave of divine masculines and catalyst for a wave of karmic endings also? Good question.
Yes, very much. So an empowered or divine masculine is somebody who puts service to others before his own needs. That's the difference. It's a place of love and protection for other people. That on the planet, we've been the other way. It's all been about me and battling against each other to get what we can and hold on to what we can. The divine masculine energy is a giving energy. It's a supportive energy. It's a loving energy. And now what is going on in the world now is going to call for masculines to stand for something, not for themselves, but for others, to be a protector of their family, their loved ones, the people around them, and to support each other, basically. So very much that way, and it's gonna people get a choice of what they're going to do, and this time of isolation is going to be what they're going to choose. Do they choose love? Or do they choose the old fear pattern? And that's going to let you know, well, some masculines or catalysts or counterparts may fall away because they're going to choose the timeline of fear, and they're going to stay in that old energy. And there's going to be another split who are going to choose the divine way, the greater good way, and the community way, and the rebuilding way.
Yeah. I think as divine feminines, this is what we as light workers have been gearing up for. This is what we've been training for. And so us shining our light, us being beacons of light through our own healing, through our own self-awareness, through stepping into mission, we're sending out a beacon of light. Our light bodies are expanded so much to absorb even more light codes, to send those out to awaken more people. Our light stepping into these times right now, the expansion of that is meant to awaken more people, for sure. And it's divine masculines, it's more divine feminines, and the more people that awaken, the more other people that will awaken. It is that wave of awakenings, and we have the ability to do that by just being ourselves and shining our light, and facilitating karmic endings by ending them for ourselves too. The karmic, the cord cutting and the attachment cuttings, and that constant self-awareness of our energy maintenance, like we were talking about earlier, is really going to help with that. We are ending our own karmic cycles too, which ripple over to karmic endings in the masculine collective too. So a lot of stuff is happening. I feel like I'm just hearing too that it is going to cause awakening for a lot of the karmic connections that divine masculines are connected to. So that doesn't really help a lot of people, because they're just like, I don't really care about whether the karmic awakens or doesn't awaken. But I think it matters. It really matters, because they're also going to awaken to the fact that the connection that they have is karmic, and it's not what it's attached to codependency and things like that. A lot more people are going to be wakening up and awakening. They're going to be awakening up.
Awakening up. I like that.
You know what I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay, Michelle Hanks, thank you so much for your donation too. I didn't miss that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate you. Do you have a question that you want to ask too? When a divine okay, so Ashley has a question. When a divine feminine lets go and detaches to come into more self-love and one with self, what happens to the divine masculine?
He feels pulled towards her.
He what?
He feels the draw towards her. That's when he misses her. That's when he wants her, because there's no attachment to him. There's no expectation on him. You've released him to be free, and then he can follow his heart. But it's the expectation we place on people that as well of it has to be like this. I need this house. I need this security, this stability. You need to have this money, this job. It's all pressure.
Twin flames are this way. The definition of union is this. My divine masculine is supposed to act this way. All of those things are expectations. All of those definitions that we put on this twin flame realm are under that category that he's talking about too. It's all expectations.
It's just love. That's what the connection is. It's just deep love. And anything else you put on top of it blocks that, blocks its purity.
Yep. It all needs to be stripped away. So when the divine feminine lets go and detaches to come into more self, so does he.
Yeah. And then the masculine will be the masculine and he will step forward more because he's free to. But he has the freedom of choice as well, which is empowering for him too. Whereas he doesn't have to provide you this, that, or the other to come forward.
Right. With us, when we detached and when we did all of that, I saw more of him. I was able to see that he was not being him, the him that I want to see more of, as often as he should be. And it freed him to be able to do that. He's just like, fuck it. Okay, fine. This is me. Take it or leave it. There are no attachments. There's no expectations. We already said everything we were going to say.
But then you're freeing yourself, aren't you? So why you're holding back? You're holding parts of yourself back. And that's part of the protective, what is ingrained to be protective of the masculine is that he's gonna try not to hurt his feminine, and that's just because he knows when his heart hurts, how it hurts, and he doesn't want to inflict wounding on his feminine. But sometimes that's at his detriment. So then he hides himself to shield you both from that hurt because he feels it as well. When he does that, that's the worst thing he could do. When he sees. When I see Karen upset or crying, it's horrible. It makes me cry. It's not nice, and and I feel it, and I don't want to do that. But sometimes you need to speak the truth.
Right. But you not being real and true to your emotions, holding those back, was causing even more problems. So it was like, I'm an empath, a very strong empath. I can tell your energy underneath of it. I can tell somewhere you're holding back, and that causes doubt, and it causes self-doubt, and it causes me to be like, well, I don't understand this energy. The energy is out of balance. I don't get it. And it makes me doubt myself. So pulling back in order to really come back into my own center was just so clearing. I got so much more clarity from it. And I feel like he did too. And you have to understand that you, as a divine feminine, in connection with distorted masculine energy, he is projecting the image of distorted feminine energy on you that he's known his entire life. And it's not healthy. It's not a good one. It's distorted. But he doesn't know any better. He doesn't know any other way. And so he's projecting that onto you. You then feel that energy around him, and you almost become that and reflect that back to him. And you then have become the energy of that person who beat him up when he was younger, or said all of those things to him. And it's not, your intention is not coming from that same place, but that's not what he sees. It's stripping all of that back and stripping back. So you in essence are doing the same thing to him too. You're imprinting the distorted masculine energy from all of the experiences and patterns in your life onto him. And so what he's doing is reflecting that, and you think that it's about him. You think that he did those things and that his intention behind them was the same as all of those trauma energies. But it's not. It's really not. He's just an actor in the play to be able to reflect that back to you. When you come into the awareness of that's not him, underneath of it all, that is not his energy, and you can remove that and sever all bonds and connections and karmic ties to that. You don't need him to mirror that to you anymore. You're going to start to see the real him. he is either going to step forward as the feeling safe in who he is, feeling like it's okay to be that way and to come more into the connection and feel safer in the connection, or the truth of your connection is going to be revealed. And the sacred masculine energy that matches the one on the inside is going to step forward. It's possible that it's not them, but you don't know. You're never going to know until you cut all the cords and karmic attachments that you have with them in the first place. Allow them to be fully them without the reflection of your trauma and karma imprinted on them. It's essential. And
It's a
knowing yourself.
self-healing journey. If you let go of your twin, say, right, I know I have this wound, and this wound that still keeps coming up. It's not only reflected when I met my twin, but people in my outside world, when I'm not in contact with my twin, I still attract that energy from people. So it could be a family member, or you may have an imprint of how men are in general, and that's the only type of man you bring to you. So you're looking for this divine, emotionally open man, but every man you bring into your field is the opposite of that.
Unavailable.
He's unavailable. So that's in you. That energy is in you. You need to heal that. So forget about your twin, forget about the journey. Why? Where does that come from? That will be an imprint that you probably had from childhood of your main masculine figure in your life that you have projected on everybody in your life through every relationship you've had. And your feminine is probably going to be your mum. And you've put that imprint onto everybody in your life. And you expect to see that energy because that was your norm, that was your environment you grew up in. That is what it looks like for you. Yeah. So you have to break that template. And that will free you massively. That's one of the main templates that need to be broken.
Yeah, Michelle, that was part of the question that you asked that I was wanting to answer. She said, so we really should just focus on our spiritual journey and eventually he comes around. He comes around to a space of being able to be fully him, being more vulnerable in who he is, being more comfortable in expressing who he is without any kind of imprint or projections from you. Either he does or your reflection, the true divine masculine that reflects your sacred masculine within you is going to step into your realm. That's the way that we understand it. That's the way that it was like, that's almost why we did this cord cutting and stuff too. It's like, we just have to trust that whatever is beyond this separation between us is going to be for our highest and greatest good, whether that is us coming back together because that's what was supposed to happen, or someone else steps in that's for our highest and greatest good. We just had to trust. It fucking sucked to do that, but we just did trust.
Yeah, it's
not easy to think that, to consider that.
Mm-hmm. It's having that blind faith in yourself that you're knowing. If you have that, you know that is out there for you, and you know that you deserve. When you know you deserve the love that you have in your heart to be reflected back at you, there is no fear.
Right.
So it's empowering yourself, like you say. If you can just the quickest way, I think, to find union is to not have, well, it swings and roundabouts. It's to heal yourself, but you need a mirror to do that. So you need to be consciously using everybody you interact with as that mirror.
Right.
Why do I not like that person? Why did that trigger me? Why do I feel drained when I'm with that? And it will all reflect something in you that you need to heal, to free you, to free them. And that's when your counterpart will be able to step in as the full embodiment of them when you are that.
Friends, family members, siblings, your kids. My kids have been some of the strongest mirrors for things that I've had going on energetically underneath that I wasn't seeing, that I didn't realize was coming from me, or that's how I was operating, or that was trauma energy that was coming up for me to release. They were my mirrors, and I use that as a tool for learning about myself and balancing my own energy. This journey at the end of the day is all about coming home to myself, to my own heart chakra. How can I allow anyone else in if I don't allow myself to be fully like cracked open and vulnerable and accept myself fully, you really can't. Alessa, wait a minute. Elisa said, how do I let my twin know that I love her and support her unconditionally no matter what happens? I know she struggles so much with her self-worth, and I just want her to know that she's my angel and my baby forever.
Cut and paste that message to her. That's how you let her know. You tell them, and you're there regardless. Obviously, if there's no way of you connecting, then that's difficult.
Yeah, what if they're not in communication? Use the mirror.
Yeah, that's it. You do. So you gotta feel that in yourself. Is there some self-worth things for you? There'll be a balance. So she struggles with that. Is that something you've healed in yourself, your self-worth? And as you do, like you say, hopefully it will bring back that connection, or a way for you to connect, or that chance meeting that you have without that energy. So then it frees you both.
You have to love yourself. They're your mirror. They're your mirror. The only way she's going to know that is if she receives the light codes of that. This is when we're talking about pure energy. We're talking about pure light energy here. When you unconditionally love yourself, free yourself, allow yourself to stand fully in your own light, you transmit the light codes of that out to her energy. You don't have to tell her. You will tell her through your energy and through your light.
Every bit of work you do on yourself, you're effectively doing on your counterpart. Yeah, everything you heal in you're healing on that person that you've created, your mirror, and you're taking each of them distortions off the mirror to become a clearer reflection of yourself.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right, don't forget, guys, too, there's a bunch of other questions in here, and I'm just going to go down the line. But if you guys want your question moved to the top of the list, we're doing a donation of $11.11. Just use the super chat down at the bottom. Deb says, how do we heal our inner child from the brokenness of sexual abuse?
It's hard. It takes some time. You've got to be gentle with yourself, and you've got to love yourself. That's the most important thing. Inner child healing is an ongoing process. I don't think it ever stops. I think for me, I think I have about 7 children. It's no coincidence I just bought a car with 7 seats, because they're with me all the time, and I take them around with me like a little tribe of humans. That sounds really odd, but I've had to go back to 7 different stages in my childhood for specific traumas. And some of mine has been sexual trauma as well. And it's giving that child, or the version of you at that time, what they needed at that time. You can't protect it from happening, but you can make them heard, make them seen, make them know it was not their fault, and love them, because that's what they needed. And as a child, we shut a lot of these things out because we can't deal with them emotionally. We're not mature enough to even comprehend it, and sometimes we don't even know it's wrong at that point.
Right, but we also create stories around them and why it happened, because we don't have all the information, because we're not mature enough to understand why those things are happening to us, why this person is imprinting their trauma on us now. We take it in and internalize it as us and a problem with us. And we also don't even fully see it because we disassociate from it. The overwhelm of it creates a disassociation and a disconnect from our own selves, so we don't even know who we are at that time. It's like a short circuit in the wiring or something. That's what I see.
When we lose our inner children, or our inner child through a wounding, we lose our joy and our playful nature, because that gets lost at the same point as that's lost. It's so important to heal these and consciously heal them, and then do something for that child, to connect with that child. What did I like to do at that age? Where was my joy? Where was my fun? If you've got children, it's easier because you get to play toys or Action Man or whatever, like I used to do when I was little. But, you know, did you love singing? Did you like dancing? Did you? And it's tapping back in to making them happy again. And that makes you happy, and that reconnects you to your joy and brings you home.
So the way that we did it, the way that I did it, was through deep meditation, through breath work, taking myself back to the place where the abuse happened, allowing myself to be seen, allowing that child, however old you were, to be seen and to be whatever they want to be. You just have to meet them there. Allow them to lean on you, to tell you what they need, ask them questions, and from allow yourself to be in the energy of that child and also this ascended, more aware adult energy at the same time. And you offer them the advice that you needed back then, or the support, or whatever it is that they needed. And you just take your time with them. You can't force it. Sometimes you have to go slowly. For mine, I had to open the closet door, let her know that I see her sitting in the closet, scared by herself. Can I come in with you? Can I sit down with you? She wanted me to sit at the doorway, not in there with her. Okay, that's where you feel safe. That's where you feel safe. I'm not going anywhere because I'm here for you, but I'm going to do this at your pace. And she let me come closer. She let me come closer. And at one point she put her head on my shoulder, and it was a series of meditations that got me to that space and allowed me to see her, to really see her, and to give her what she needed from this perspective. Now, it takes a while.
You have to build their trust, because their trust has been shattered. That's part of when they got broken, they've been shattered. But since that splintered light, their light was broken by the trauma. For me, very similar. I have a little boy who hides under the table, and I have to go and sit under the table with him and sit with him and just reassure him and say, well, I'm going to stay under the table. I'm not asking you to move. I'm going to meet you where you are. And it's that. It's meeting.
Right. And a lot of times we don't know right away why he's under the table. Sometimes he doesn't want to talk about it. He just is there, and he just, needs to know that he's not alone. Doesn't need to be alone. If he wants to be alone, he can be alone, but we're going to be over here just waiting for him to reconnect again. Okay. Michelle, thank you for being here. Soul Mastermind said the super chat option is not available, isn't activated on hers. I don't know why that is. Rel agrees with you. That's how she's helped to overcome her sexual abuse. Thank you, Rel. If you guys need more help with that too, with kind of journeying back, I just made a connection with someone the other day who does past life regressions too. A lot of times this stuff is bleed over from past lives too. So it may be that we find it in this lifetime, we find the source of it in this lifetime, but we also need to go back and analyze connections from other lifetimes too, and the origin, the original sin. So I have somebody that does past life regression too, if you guys are interested in that. Oh no, Paisley's video was frozen. Paisley, you just have to refresh the page if you haven't already. Thank you guys for everyone giving advice. Lynette, thank you very much. Brooke, hi. I saw you on there earlier too. Okay. Any other questions? I think I got to all of them that were on there. Any other questions for Lloyd for the divine masculine perspective? Surprised we didn't have more like.
Or card pulls for Karen.
Why does he ghost? Or card pulls? Yeah, should we pull some cards? Should we pull some cards? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Paisley's video must have been frozen. She said, I'm so glad to be back. I felt left at the grocery store. Raise your hand if you've been left at the grocery store. All right, this is not the right deck to be choosing from. Oh, I need this one. Get all the thumbs up. Thank you, Lloyd.
That's all right.
All right. Tarot or Oracle?
Oracle.
Oh, those thumbs up. Keep them coming.
I know. They want cards.
Oracle, Oracle, Oracle. All right. This deck is really charged. Calm down, ladies. Queen of the Moon Oracle. I've been called more and more and more to do more teaching on intuitive reading for cards. I really want to do that more, trying to figure out the structure of it. But I really want you guys to start reading cards too. I want you guys to start building your intuitive skills. It's important. It's going to help you to connect a little bit more. Rel said, I feel like I should have 100 questions for Lloyd, but I'm frozen. All right, I'm going to pull some cards. You just think of all of those underlying I need to know things.
If you just want to chat about perspective, just book on one of my healing sessions and you can spend some time thinking about the questions you want to ask. I'm happy to answer them. It doesn't have to be just, I'm sure it'll be equally as healing to see the other perspective on how things are playing out. So if any of you want to do that, you just have certain questions or some ways you're not understanding what's going on with your divine masculine, then yeah, just go to my website, lightsideenergyhealing.com, and book in a one-to-one session and we can do whatever you want.
He does his sessions by donation. He only charges $1, but then you can donate whatever amount you have, whatever you are able to contribute, whatever you think the value of the session is. But it starts out at $1. So don't hesitate to go over there. And even having a conversation is very healing. There's light codes that are transferred that it's very healing. So don't hesitate to go over there. Light side energy healing. Like I wish I could go inside his mind because I always hear they go through this differently, but how? Yeah, I mean, from the very beginning, his awakening was very different. It was accelerated. It was immediate. It was just like, boom. And he was completely shut off before that. So it's different.
I switched from distorted masculine. Literally, I went into feminine energy. It was in a switch, literally like that. And that came with my intuition, my downloads, but I also knew my masculine side as well. So it was both integrating very quickly for me. It was almost backwards to how Karen is, like we do it the other way. So the masculines are very earth-based on physical action and doing things physically to transform our life here, whereas the feminine is more tapping into her intuition and not necessarily changing the structure of her life, but changing her thought patterns. So I very much changed my material plane first and got all that in order, and I sort of ascended to a point like I am now where I can be of service. I don't need a certain amount of money from interactions with anybody I'm healing. I'm here to help people, and I do it because I love it, and it's not about money. So it's changed me that way.
Just want to squeeze you. All right. I don't know what's happening with the union energy right now. I had two different oracle decks out here. I pulled cards from them. They're like, nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. That is in the solar plexus. That is self-doubt. That is questioning yourself. That is a disconnect from here to here. And it's not just me. It's not really my energy, because I feel like I'm in the flow of a channel, but there's something here that's blocking me to be able to have the confidence to say, this is what the message is. And it feels like that's reflective of light workers doubting their abilities. Not like who am I I haven't been doing this. I don't have 5,000 people following my channel. Like how can I read for other people? Or it's definitely, there's self-doubt in the solar plexus right now. That's what they're telling me. That was I had to be this little actor in a play. First I had the Queen of the Moon oracle deck out, and then I had magical messages for the fairies. Nope, that wasn't it. That didn't make any sense. Work your light, oracle cards. Part of it, bing. Part of it too is that there are so many different questions. There's so many things people want to know. There's so many different energies and guidance that I'm tapped into right now.
I was guided to pull this one, which is from the Earth Warriors Oracle deck, and it is Warrior Spirit, Spirit of the Warrior, and this collective, the union energies is in yourself, and it's pushing yourself forward. You're creating your reality, holding that. It's really propelling yourself forward now. We just smashed through a massive karmic cycle that we're all coming out of now. We're cutting the cords to the past to empower ourselves to move forward, however we see fit, into the reality we want to create. And that is your warrior spirit coming forward. We are the rainbow warriors prophesied by the Indians. That is us here at this time to change the world. That's your union.
Bring it.
Don't know where that came from, but it came. Sorry.
Because you're an oracle.
Mm-hmm. I have a good teacher.
Paisley said, Lloyd, you're freaking great.
Thank you, Paisley.
High Priestess, I've been drawn to post, but then doubt myself. So I think I needed to hear that. Yes, yes, yes. I have the same thing every single time before I post a video. No matter how many videos I've posted, I think I have like 100 videos on there, something right now. Every single time there's an instant of I settle back down into my ego self again. And I'm like, did any of that even fucking make sense? Was that real? I always doubt myself for a second. And it's something that I have had to try to master, but it's always there. It's always there. It's always there. So it's something that we need to overcome. And it's again something in the solar plexus. There's something there that the divine feminines, it feels like, are clearing out. It's something collectively that we are clearing out in having complete knowing and faith in ourselves, that there's a reason that I had to post this video, even if it's just that one person got a message out of it, or one person got triggered by it. They needed to be. And maybe that comes back as a comment towards me, but it's not about me. I just have to remember my light. I don't know. I get that way too, just so you know. Oh my God, so much doubt this week. Who am I to lead? There are others already established. I felt frozen for a week, like I have no voice, nothing to say. Lynette,
we're all individual. We all have our own messages, our own light to shine.
She posted a meditation. She teaches meditation too. She posted a meditation over in the Hawk's Nest. Go over there and watch that meditation. Have faith in the fact that I can't lead people in meditation. It doesn't feel, there's no flow to it for me. Sometimes I get into the channel of it with private clients, but it's not with everyone. Not everyone is able to lead and guide meditations. It is a gift. It is a serious gift, and solid meditation practice is very, very important for light workers right now, to, if they are not already, to get into the flow of that in order to strengthen their connection. They need you. They need you for that. And I need you as a reference to be able to send people to teach them how to meditate, or to, post instructional videos to tell them like how to go about doing that. Not everybody has the same skill set. So yours is different. We need you for that. So you do have a voice. You have a voice that specifically creates meditations for people and creates their voice too. We need you.
Yourself. We're all different. We may learn similar things, but our perspective on it is always different, and our message that we send from it is different. And those that need your message will come to you, and there are so many people that need your message. So have faith. You're needed. Your message is very valid. Please share it with us.
Yes. And I challenged people a couple of weeks ago in one of my videos to do something that scares the shit out of you. If it's posting that video, if it's that first one, or if it's exposing yourself, or if it's just, when I started out, I was just showed the cards. I wasn't on camera. It was me revealing myself on camera because it was a fear that I had. I challenge you to just do it. Right now is the time where when there is so much fear about other things, we just say, follow our gut and say, fuck fear. Just do it. Just hit submit and just do it. And you can always delete it later if you want to. You're not going to want to, though. That's the thing. I'm challenging you to push that button, submit it, tell me that you did. Rel posted that she posted and opened her YouTube channel, and I'm so glad that you did. It's so freeing. You're so free to be everything that you want to be. There's no holds barred except for you. You're the only one that holds you back.
And fear is like it's a false barrier a lot of the time. It's your ego mind trying to hold you in what it knows, because it doesn't like not knowing where it's going. It's a program.
Right. It's a program. We don't let those programs run us anymore. I am a powerful seer. I'm telling you, I see that fear program in you. It doesn't have power anymore. Just move past it. You're gonna thank me for pushing you to do that, because it's gonna free you. You're gonna free yourself. Do it. Oh, hi, Charlotte. I'm so glad you made it. Charlotte from Happy Twins 1111 is here. I just had a lovely conversation with her earlier. Oh. Lynette, see? Lynette says, it's just my personal practice. You're playing it small.
Yeah, share it. Share you with the world. That's all you do. That's all I do, is I share me, what I do, with everybody else.
Right.
They see value in me because I have value, just like everybody else.
So video is about like our connection, our union, our relationship, the things that we've gone through, the things that our personal situation. These are our personal practices. This is the way we personally heal. But you are me and I'm you. So if that's your personal practice, I can benefit from your personal practice because you benefit from it too. If you're being called to help people with it, to put it out there and help people learn how to meditate, just do it. That's what we're doing.
Like I say, well, part of what we're looking to build is going to be more of a community. So we'll be looking for teachers, and we don't know everything. We would never be arrogant enough to say we know everything. Lots of people, we're all unique. We all have different skills. So we'll be looking for people to do different teachings and different lessons on whatever platform we use, to help people to come to a place where they can learn all different aspects of their journey to help with the ascension. Yeah. We need you.
Lynette said, "Holy Spirit, to hear a man say that just broke me wide open. My heart just burst, and now I'm sobbing again." He's done so much healing work that he has come into more pure divine feminine energy too, and has allowed himself to open up to being vulnerable, and to give that to you, to show that to you, to shine his light in that way. That's what we're all doing.
It's it's expressing you from your pure heart point, with no barriers, no guards, no fear of being you. That's empowerment.
Oh yeah, somebody said something about walking in nature meditation too. I was thinking today that I'm going to do a video on the different types of meditation, different purposes for meditation, different ways to meditate, things like that. I don't do guided meditations, like I said, but there are different ways to meditate. And a walking meditation is one of them, setting the intention that each step, each connection with the earth is meditative. It's bringing you to a grounded place, to a centered place. It's transferring your energy to Mother Gaia's energy and bringing it back into yourself as well. um, it's quiet, it's connecting with sounds around you, it's really integrating you into your 3D environment in a way that sitting and listening to a guided meditation has a completely different effect and purpose and all of that. So yeah, nature walk meditations are really amazing. It's for a different kind of connection and different kind of clearing out your brain. All right, weren't we going to pull a card or something?
I was waiting for you to do one, wasn't I?
Okay, so like we were talking about earlier, mirror, who or what is triggering you? It's almost like they want us to go back to that energy of realizing who a mirror is for you. There's a lot of people that trigger you. There are comments on Facebook that trigger you. There people in your family trigger you. Leaning into those triggers and understanding that they are a mirror of what you have going on within you is really going to help you to excel and to launch yourself. We don't get triggered, we get launched. That's what it is. Look at your mirrors as launching points. Who or what is triggering you? Some of you also have karmics that you don't realize are karmic connections for you. If you're, this is what they're telling me, your divine masculine has a karmic partner. It's a mirror for you. He is a very powerful mirror for you. So who is your karmic partner? If he has a karmic partner, you have a karmic partner. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It could be your mother. It could be your father. It could be a coworker. I've said this many times, but using that mirror and healing your side of things is the way to help in healing, to flow out on that side also, because essentially you're healing your inner divine masculine energy. So who is your karmic? Stop focusing on who his karmic is and how to control that and how to affect change on your own karma. Who's triggering you? Babe, who's triggering you?
Who's triggering me?
Yeah.
No one.
No?
No.
You're in a state of peace at this point.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well, I think. I'm sure they're going to bring me up some more triggers as this healing journey never ends. But at the moment,
You can't keep any secrets. You can't keep secrets from the divine and spirit. It just says no. It says wait, postpone, pause, say no. And there's lightning bolts here. So if you haven't been triggered by someone, not just you, babe, but everybody else too, who or what is triggering you? It may be that you are not saying no enough. You're giving your energy away. And we talked about this the other day too. You're giving your energy away to too many people in too many little ways that you're not realizing. Say no to yourself. Do not comment on that Facebook post. Do not scroll and scroll and scroll and look for the latest news and get sucked into that energy. You have to say no to people who need you, who need your light, who are energy vampires. You have to start saying no to yourself because you are overextending yourself. This is a very, very intense kind of, you have to start pulling your energy back, allowing it to yourself to decompress and then rejuvenate in order to be able to give any of your light. You're not saving enough for yourself and you're depleting your own light. You're tainting the codes that are in your light body, they're showing me, and that gets transmitted out to other people. So you're transmitting dense, depleted, energetic codes to other people. It's not good. It's not healthy. Wait, postpone, pause, say no. Wait, postpone, and pause. That's what the earth is doing right now. That's what everyone is doing. The energy, we're at like an energetic reset right now.
Just letting that storm pass at the same time. That's what we're saying. So we become the eye of the storm. Is that outside world? We are calm, we are peaceful, and we let the storm go by.
Yeah. Sienna said, I feel like I'm not doing enough to help others. Well, if you are in a good energetic place, it may be that you now just need to start connecting more with your intuition and really leaning into working your light, actively working your light. Setting the intention, letting spirit know that you are ready for mission, that you're ready to be put into action. And the people who need the help that are going to benefit most from your light are going to be led to you. It's not you going after people and saying, can I help you? Can I help you? What can I do for you? What can I do for you? Just set the intention that you are open, that you are in a good place energetically, that you have a good spiritual hygiene routine down, that you can replenish yourself and open yourself to be in service. Those people are going to be led to you. They're going to be guided to you. If you need to explore that anymore, book a session with me too. We do a spiritual gifts discovery session. I can show you how to build on the gifts that you have, how to hone those, how to really, really focus your energy and your intention on the path that is going to be of the highest and greatest good and service to everybody around you, those who need the help. It may be that you're being called to action right now and you were supposed to ask. It's getting intense now. So Lori said loving yourself is good. Yes.
Most important practice that you can have is self-love. Because if you're not okay, and you're not energetically right, you can't be at your best for other people.
Right.
So you've got to love yourself first. I know a lot of people say that's selfish, but if you want to give your best to other people, you have to be at your best. It's that simple. You got to be the best you.
Yes. Yes. Just say yes. The more you take care of yourself, the more that, again, is transmitted out in your light body. That self-love, that unconditional love. There are people, though, who are being called to actively work their light and be light workers. Now, when I was talking about that walking meditation, sometimes working your light is trailing your light through a walking meditation around your neighborhood. Sometimes that's all you need to do. Create a circle. Walk it twice, listen to your intuition. Maybe what you're doing is opening some sort of portal for a release of fear energy in your neighborhood alone, and that's going to ripple out to other neighborhoods. Getting yourself in that spiritual practice is so important, and being outside, spreading your light. For me, the other day, it was walking through the grocery store, consciously, intentionally, just being my light through each one of the aisles, not allowing whatever frenzied energy it was to affect me, to just be like, I am light, here you go. I'm just trailing it. We can still do that. We can still be outside. Even if you're doing social distancing and stuff, you can still be outside. You can still be working your light in a way that helps other people. It's going to help other people. My neighbors are never outside. There's never anybody out there. It's like it's like a ghost town out there. But because everybody's stuck inside now, they've all started to come out and sit on their porches. And I've just started walking this little circuit around my neighborhood and just smiling at people that I've never seen before. I've been here for 2.5 years, just smiling at them. Sometimes that's enough, because it's coming from such a pure place. I love like seeing that they've just appeared. It's all these new people around. Yes. So we had no, and then we had yes. We had no, call back your energies to yourself. Stop giving it away in places that you shouldn't be giving it away. There are certain people in here who need that message. They need to rejuvenate themselves before they can give it away, because it's not healthy. And get yourself, take care of yourself, and spread your light by taking care of yourself. Yeah. Yes. let's do one more card. There's like 5 of them come out. Somebody was like, no, let's do more than that. Any more questions for Lloyd while we're here?
We'll be on again. We're going to make this a weekly thing, aren't we? That's what we just do. So, yeah, if you want to think about any questions or anything, you've got a week to plan your questions, write them down, and then obviously you can hit me with them next time.
We're going to do it next Friday. Thank you, Raul. Thank you for being here. One more card, and then we're out of here. Council of Light. I love these cards, by the way. Lloyd got me these cards. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms. So you're being supported on so many different dimensions. So even like we were talking about, I can see you walking around your neighborhood and just being in meditation, connecting with the earth in that kind of meditation. And there are so many beings around you that are helping to spread the purity of your light, to support you and the earth and the collective around you. I don't think that we realize how much benefit this is all having for the earth and for the collective energy. Angelic realms are we're being guided. All of this is being guided and orchestrated. It's
every one of us has got thousands of light beings around us.
Yeah.
Every one of us, like you say, we might not see it. So when you tap into that consciously, what you're able to do on an energetic level on the earth is amazing. Like I say, I'm led to do open portals and bring in different lights from the planets and things like this, which people, and if someone had told me I'd be doing that, I'd think I was crazy, but I'm just being guided. I become a vessel for the divine, and I just get told to do these things, so I just do it. And the power that gives you and the freedom that gives you is something else. So just lean in. When you think you're being weird, lean into it, because there's no such thing as weird anymore. Let that shine.
Right. Let in. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. This was lovely. The energy feels amazing and uplifted, and I don't feel that heaviness on my chest anymore. I feel okay to breathe now. I feel like a lot of that has been released and transmuted through this interaction tonight. So keep it up. Keep up that kind of maintenance. Make sure you're constantly cutting cords and attachments and staying up on your spiritual routine. It's important. It's very important. It's important, more important now than ever before. Also, make sure you hit the thumbs up button right now, because it helps. Thank you guys so much too for your donations. I really appreciate all of that. It does help to support the channel and everything that we're going through right now. So thank you. Paisley, I have to get you a card real quick. Hang on, hang tight. Paisley, take a break. A life's work, not a season. Get off the treadmill. You need a vacation. I don't know that you're able to get away, but there's some sort of, it's like your mind needs a break a little bit.
Your creativity, and lean into your creativity to help you escape.
Yeah, don't push so hard at whatever it is that's happening or that you're trying to accomplish or you're trying to figure out right now. It says life's a work, not a season. This is just a small portion of what you will be doing. So the interaction that you have with whatever people it's making it difficult for is, my phone is ringing now too. It's like all these distractions, and life's a work, not a season. Take your time. Take it easy on yourself. Okay. Thank you so much for all of your work tonight. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.